Mhm. So hello, today we are having the second webinar of the joint TESOL-Ukraine, TESOL-Italy project, which is called Sharing Between Contexts. And we are really grateful to our Italian friends who are helping us in this dark, difficult times. And great thanks to TESOL-Italy President Maria Grazia and to Sarah, to Lisa, to everyone who really supported us in the series of webinars. And the plan, as you remember, was the follow, was like this. So every Tuesday here we'll have an Italian presentation, and every Thursday here there will be a presentation from Ukrainian side, where we'll try to tell about Ukrainian system of education, so that our Italian friends and even our Hawaiian friends will be interested in learning more about how Ukrainian system of education works. By it, I mean the ELT system, English language teaching. And we also agreed to have short presentations of people here, but we didn't discuss it till the end. So last time we presented Maria Grazia and Elena Ilyenka, our president. And Sarah, would you like to say a word as vice president?
Yes, it will be a total improvisation.
For everyone, believe me.
So I am Sarah Mercedes Howell, and I'm the second vice president.
Ты сказала правильно. Не волнуйся, не беспокойся. Единственное, что не приводи больше никому, никогда примеры из личной жизни.
Somebody's microphone's on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sorry.
So I'm the second vice president of TESOL-Italy. I've lived and taught in Italy for 30 years. I'm a professional textbook writer for a number of publishers, and I teach scientific English at the University Polytechnic of Ancona. It's a real pleasure to co-host these webinars. It was an idea that just popped up out of just a really chat on Facebook, and it's developed into something quite wonderful, I think, with a wonderful array of speakers. And I think we're all delighted that we're going to find out more about teaching in the Ukraine. If I might be able to add a personal anecdote, there are a lot of Ukrainians who've come to our area in the last few weeks, and the English level is absolutely amazing. So I want to find out where this secret is. What is it that Ukrainian teachers are doing in schools to get the students, the young students? We have 11 and 12-year-olds and 16-year-olds, and the level is extremely high. So hopefully you're going to share some of those secrets today for us to put into practice. Thank you very much for coming. I won't take any more of your time up.
Oh, thank you so much. And I'm TESOL-Ukraine Vice President, but I will introduce myself later when we have a presentation. And today I will introduce Oksana Chugai, who is our presenter. And she is the person who stays with TESOL-Ukraine for so many years. And she has worked at different levels, being a secretary, a newsletter editor, an active member of TESOL-Ukraine, and in general, a great supporter of all ideas. So Oksana, she has worked at all levels of education in Ukraine. She worked at a school, and she has a degree, and she also works with in-service training. So Oksana is a person whom we really can ask so many questions connected with why our students know English so well. But, you know, my belief is just that you were lucky to have good students. Because we don't think it's, you know, it's so amazing, but hopefully it's so glad that you had the students who really presented Ukraine well. Yeah. Okay, so and now I give the virtual microphone to Oksana. So Oksanочка, please start.
Yeah,
I can share the screen. If you need the PowerPoint, it's here.
I'll say a couple of words and then we'll move to presentation. First of all, hello everyone, and I will ask to mute your microphones. First of all, thank you for such a promising introduction. Marina, yes, maybe something is true, maybe something is not exactly true, because I am actually nobody is an expert, and despite all our qualifications and experience, we still have questions. That is what the aim of my presentation is, to respond to the questions and to have a discussion which possibly will be based on the issues related to my presentation, to education, to teaching English in Ukraine in particular. Okay, so I am moving to my presentation now, and the first slide. Last time at the previous webinar, we watched the presentation made by Olena Ilenko. So I borrowed the first slide because it seems to me that it's important for all of us to remember about time, what is happening now, and the epicenter of that is Ukraine. With that thought, just 1 second. I didn't change any information which could be updated. You can see that statistics is related to the time before the war, but I am sure that we will have more universities, we will have more schools in the future, despite the fact that some of them are already destroyed. Okay, please, Marina, could you mute the microphones of our participants? Thank you very much. Let's have a look at the first slide, and the topic of my presentation is ambitious. Maybe it's not okay, Marina. Dear participants, please mute your microphone. I cannot see. Okay, so yeah, Yelena Lvovna, hello there. You recognize the first slide of your presentation, and it's the starting point for my presentation. So the title is ambitious, but I'm sure that by the end of this presentation, all the participants will have a better understanding of what teaching English in Ukraine is. Okay, let's move on. You can see a couple of pictures of my university, which is a technical university in Kyiv, Ukraine. Oh, Marina, what is going on? Okay. so it's one of the biggest universities in Ukraine, and you can see just a tiny part of the campus. Practically on each slide, you can see the links to the, okay.
Now it is okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay, now it's, oh, thank you, Lila, thank you very much. Yes, it was, okay, yeah. Just 1 second. Let's try to restart the presentation. Sorry about that. Thank you. Okay, Lila, it's you.
It's okay,
maybe,
yes, now
maybe move. Yes, I can control my presentation now. Okay, could you help me? Well, I may say that my students are mathematicians and IT specialists. Besides, I have students, international students from Turkey, China, Egypt, and I also have high school students who prepare for the independent testing. So I still cannot move to full screen. Okay, let's here. Let's have a look at just 1 second. Let's have a look at what Ukraine is from the point of foreign people. So it was interesting for me to have a look at this information. I would like to share it with you. So for a teacher of English who lives abroad, it's important to know that Ukraine is one of the oldest countries in the world, and she has lots of parks, nature reserves, with a lot of opportunities to go into different activities. Besides, okay, what about presentation? I cannot control it. You can help me, Marina. I cannot. Oh yeah. Okay, just 1 second. Just 1 second. We will. I will try to do that because it's difficult to move to the next slide. Okay, full screen. Is it possible to go to full screen? Okay, so I continue, but please help me because I cannot control my presentation anymore. Which teaching programs are available in Ukraine? There are plenty of ways to teach English in Ukraine, and the students are described as welcoming and enthusiastic, and Ukraine as a great place to teach. And it's true. I may confirm that it's true, and my colleagues will agree with that as well. Yeah. No, it doesn't want to obey. Okay, here. So let's move to next slide. Okay, here. I cannot move to the next slide.
Yeah, so I also I can't move it. Yeah. So,
okay, let's
start with your presentation and move it.
Okay.
Because I don't move mine.
Yeah. Okay. When we
sorry about that. Yeah.
It's okay. It was okay at the very beginning, but then something happened. That is what might happen.
It's technology.
Anywhere. Okay, it's okay. Now I'm happy about that. Let's have a look. Let's move to the education system in Ukraine. But when I look at this diagram, I reflected on my life, because I started teaching at nursery school, and now I'm a lecturer at university. We'll have a look at each of these stages more closely. Okay. And we'll start with preschool education. You can see the numbers, and
Oksana, we
yes.
don't see it.
Okay. Just 1 second. I can see my presentation. Okay. Just 1 second. We will try to. Yeah, I see. Okay. What about now?
Just a moment, it is loading, Oksana.
What about now?
And now we can see.
We can
Great.
see it now.
I'm happy about that. Okay, so let's start with preschool education. We are thinking about the age from 2, maybe 1, up to 5. So I will ask each participant, even if you have never taught young children, think about the most important thing, the strategy, what we should remember about when we teach English to young kids. Just a couple of ideas in the chat. Just right now, please type in what should be the most important in teaching English. Oh, thank you. Okay, let's have a look at what we have there. Okay. Gamification, engaging. Okay, thanks. Fun, inspiration. Okay, yeah. Really, yeah. It should be short span of attention. Exactly. Okay. So activity plus games, active games. Thank you so much. And that is what it is about. It's mostly gaming, singing songs, playing games, and having fun. Okay, let's move to next slide, and you can see next stages. It's primary school, basic secondary, and upper secondary. It's important to mention that teaching English, talking about teaching English in Ukraine is impossible without mentioning the new Ukrainian school. And you can see the numbers again, the number of institutions, students and teachers who are related to this to this stage. The information is taken from the official website, the Ministry of Education and Science. Higher education will come back to the new Ukrainian school a bit later. So higher education is based on the laws of Ukraine. You can see them, and basically it's free in Ukraine. You can see the diplomas which are received at the certain levels. There are 5 of them. Okay. 2 years, practically 2 years of distance education. Because of the coronavirus, teachers had to adapt to be flexible to that extent, which they had never been flexible before. And distance education is extremely important now. Without it, it would be impossible to continue studying and teaching. So quality assurance became a part of our life. Let's move to new Ukrainian school, what it is about. It's a key reform, and it aims at creating a new school. Unfortunately, with the collapse of the Soviet Union, nothing else collapsed practically. It worked for education as well. So it was vital to get started with the renewal of educational system, of educational environment. The most important message, the most important idea of the new Ukrainian school, of its creation, is the child, the student. When the student becomes the center of the educational model, when their needs are the starting point for everyone. For teachers, a new Ukrainian school means that means freedom, more freedom. They may choose their tools. They may choose the ways, the strategies. But what is important, the result. So the result is stated, the goal is stated in the new law on education. Besides, some changes in the professional development were made, and again, the teachers now have more choices than before. They may choose what kind of professional development at which institution to have. One of the ways to one of the, let's say, cornerstones of this reform is the British Council in Ukraine. Maybe that is one of the components of the success which was mentioned before, that our students can speak English when they go abroad. You can see that actually you can see that on the slide how many teachers went through the trainings by the tutors, by the professional tutors of British Council. And yeah, you can see that it was obligatory for primary school teachers who were called, and now they are called change agents. And they, in their turn, conducted trainings with other teachers in different regions of Ukraine. So they, let's say, cascaded their knowledge and the skills, shared their tips. One more important issue, which should be taken into consideration when talking about teaching English in Ukraine, it's external independent testing. It was introduced maybe more than 10 years ago, and it was, let's say, U-turn in teaching not only English, but some other subjects as well, because the main goal of introducing this testing was fighting corruption. It intended for school leavers. So the aim was to create equal opportunities to be admitted for admission to universities in Ukraine. Okay, and then a bit later, another testing like SNO, it has another name. I didn't want to for it to be confusing for you, was introduced for bachelor students, and again aimed at fighting corruption at another level, at postgraduate level. So you can see the description, a brief description of the NO, so-called, and one more positive, a very important work is international collaboration, mobility of our students. They are, if they want to take part in international programs like Erasmus+, it's free for students, and they may have dual diplomas. There are programs of dual diplomas. They should know English, because without that it's impossible to study abroad. So it's one more, let's say, opportunity, and one more challenge on another hand for our students. Okay, on this slide you recognize, I'm sure that you recognize our friends, partners, not only in Ukraine, but in everywhere, practically in all the countries of the world. British Council I mentioned. Another program which was very important for me personally, and my colleagues as well, it's the English language fellow program. So many, I cannot even count how many teachers benefited from that program. When a teacher of English, an English language fellow, not one, but several experienced tutors come to Ukraine and work here in different cities, different places. So it's a valuable experience. When I remember when it was just the beginning of before the Ukrainian school, before the reforms, first seminars which we attended, they were face-to-face, of course, no internet at those times. It was a shocking experience, because somehow in our traditional, let's say, school, teachers practically didn't smile. But when we saw an American presenter, an American teacher, so whoever it was, he or she was smiling. It was cultural shock. And whatever level it was about teaching primary school kids or school leavers. It was about having fun, playing games, engaging students. So it was the very beginning of our long road to the new Ukrainian school. What else? You can see publishing houses like the internal education. Yes, of course, it's their let's say business. They sell books, but at the same time in Ukraine, they provide so many ways to help, competitions among students, support for teachers, free, and it's very important when you have such partners. So last year and this year, for example, teachers of London School of English had face-to-face speaking sessions, questions and answers. So our students at the end of the year, they had 2 or 3 meetings like that. They reflecting on their experience. They provided so positive feedback. It was revealing for them to talk to teachers, real teachers from Great Britain, from the USA. Okay, so let's have a look at the last slide. I'm going to finish my presentation, and I have a message to teachers of Ukraine. I know that we are living through a difficult time. Some of my colleagues are abroad, and they work from those countries. It's possible. Anyway, we are strong, and by what we do, we teach English. We show that there will be life and victory after what we have now, and that is what we should do. Because unfortunately, we cannot use guns. We cannot be nurses or doctors. So in this way, we provide support for our students. And I am sure that it's very important for them to finish this year and achieve the results which they had set at the very beginning of this academic year. So this is my presentation. That's all. I will ask you to ask questions either in the chat or by switching your microphones on. And I want to say thank you to the organizers of this event, because we all had our moments of maybe desperation, of thinking about what to do, where to go. So it's very important for us to develop professionally and to be better teachers, to become better teachers, and because our students benefit from that. So thank you for your attention, and thanks for your patience when there were technical problems at the very beginning.
Thank you so much. Could you please stop the presentation so that, okay, now we see everyone. Thank you so much. And the first question from the chart was whether it's obligatory to study English at the preschool level.
Yeah, I may answer this question. No, it's not obligatory, but it's obvious that parents would like their children to study English. Preschool is free. That is what is special about preschool education. My nephews are in the USA and they have to pay. You know? There are lots of classes which you may choose from, but usually parents ask for those classes for English in the first place. Yeah, thank you for the question.
So more questions, please.
There was another question in the chat, I think, that actually asked, do Ukraine students have to take the final exam? Because in Italy, we've got quite a lot of Ukrainian students now that are studying online in different classes, different years. And the ones that are supposed to be taking their exams. I think the question was from Denise at the American corner in Trieste, Italy.
Thank you so much. I didn't see that question. This year is special. Unfortunately, the independent testing, as it used to be, as it usually was cancelled because even it was conducted even during the coronavirus, during the under the strict regulations of quarantine. But now it's just impossible, physically impossible. So instead of taking 3 or 4 independent testing on 3 or 4 separate subjects, the students write a test, complete a test, there are several subjects, one test on several subjects, and it's done online. And again, it may be done in any country, in any place. That is what the officials thought about, to let school leavers finish this year and enter universities. Thank you for the question.
Oksana, also there is a question about cultural aspect in teaching English. How much of a cultural aspect do we have, and how much culture is in teaching English in Ukraine?
Thank you, Marina. Thank you for the question. Culture, language and culture are inseparable. All our books, you open any book, speak out, language to go, whatever, it's culture everywhere. Yeah, of course, they're like two sides of one coin, sorry. And what I want to say that culture, like the way of thinking, the way of behaving, is also a part and parcel of any lesson of English. It's not only about the language, it's about the intercultural things. We have classes now. I used to work at a private gymnasium, and there were kids from different countries in each class, practically in each class. So mom is from Ukraine, dad is from Egypt. So we're international families, and the textbooks are international as well. They teach so they intended not just for students who live in one particular country, but they aim at students who will live, who will go to any country of the world, and it's very important. That is what beneficial is about lessons of English. They teach not just the language, but the ethics, the moral code of behavior. In other countries, when the when students go abroad, it's easier for them to understand what people are doing, why they're doing that, and how to respond. Thank you.
Thank you. And another question from Anna Lee was how they can help us.
Could you repeat that? What kind of question?
How they can help us with something concrete.
You mean Italian?
Italian
colleagues?
Italian colleagues or any other kind of colleagues here.
Okay, we should brainstorm within our TESOL-Ukraine community first, and then come up with ideas. But the most important is to feel support. As you know, our one of the previous lessons, one student expressed that, talking about that resilience, you know, like our lesson from the previous webinar. He indicated his the question. His answer to the question, how are you, on a 10-point scale, was very low. And I asked him how could I help him. And he responded that nobody could help because his house is destroyed or was destroyed, and he had to go to another city. So in this situation, it's impossible to help. We cannot do anything now, but they should know that they will have the place where to come back, and they will have support. So, and they will have future here in this country. It's the most important for them to know, and for us as well. If you if you are sure that we will be a free country, that we will fight for our freedom, it will happen. So if we think positively, then I'm sure it will be our future, our common future.
And I also wanted to add here that our Ministry of Education is doing everything to attract students back to Ukraine, like to make the entrance exams as easy as possible, to make the postgraduate and graduate exams very easy, and just to attract students to come back. And another idea is also to if our students get stipends and grants, those money should be used to for them to come back. Again, they will study abroad and they are supposed to come back. So we do hope that our kids will be back, as Oksana has said. So we are doing everything, but many of them really don't have a place to come back. Yeah. Okay, any more questions, sir? No question.
Yeah, you asked about culture and language. Maybe I will share with you my, let's say, observation that it's important for a teacher to have that experience of intercultural communication. When our student in the private gymnasia used to work, students often asked, okay, we've been to Great Britain, USA, or whatever, we've been to so many countries abroad. What about you? Have you ever been to Great Britain? And you know, not every teacher in Ukraine may say that he or she has been to Great Britain. Now it's kind of easier. You may have that online experience, but anyway, NGOs, professional organizations like TESOL, they engage teachers by means of cooperating with other countries, with similar organizations in other countries, and it's very important because we, through our experience, we teach students a lot unconsciously. Even I don't know. There was one example when before the lesson, when we had face-to-face lessons, I used to have cookies, candies in my class, and students during the break they were entering the class, and I greeted them, hi, hello, help yourself. And you know, some of them were confused. Help yourself? What what it was about? And yeah, it's interesting how different they behave. So they think, okay, it's a lesson, but before the lesson, it's not a lesson, so we can speak Ukrainian or Russian, whatever language it is. But sometimes it's very difficult to divide the lesson and the real life. And when there is a mixture, when we replicate what may really happen in their lives, it's very important. So they were surprised, and then they, oh, okay, help yourself. It means that I may take a candy. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and we have a question from Olga from Dnipro. She's asking if there are any camps, I believe, like teacher development camps or student, or Ola, what kind of camps do you mean?
I mean that in some European countries, so there are some propositions for Ukrainian teachers for their professional development in summer, because as we know that our academic year is going to finish, yes, and so many Ukrainian teachers are now abroad, and they would like to change their experience and maybe multicultural exchanging. So it would be great if such some schools or trainings or workshops will be provided in Italy, maybe because information, we don't, it's great if you could share with such information. Yeah.
I think Maria Grazia, you might have something to say on that, because we had a little idea about that, didn't we, recently? Something to do with a summer camp.
Let's see if we manage to organize. Of course, we really would like to do something. So we will keep you updated. And above all, we are going also to explore if in Italy there are some initiatives in this sense, so that, you know, Also, if other organizations in the ELT field are trying or have planned or are planning to organize something in summer. Okay, so you know, because it has been a very hectic time for everybody. So of course, teachers in Italy during summer, they are busy until July, especially the ones working in secondary schools. So in August, practically everything is quite or less, you know, there isn't much to do in August, but maybe in July and in June will be possible to organize something. And even our organization is trying to think about something, but we need, you know, to see if it's possible, because of course we need also to be financed or to find something to organize that. But it's our, you know, we really would like to organize something. We were thinking about organizing something in an area, maybe in an area where Sarah works, and Sarah and Lisa are located, because there are a lot of Ukrainians arrived there, and so it could be great to help and support, you know, them, of course.
You know, we discovered that there are different types of teacher development camps. You can fully finance people and bring them to a wonderful place, but usually it doesn't work for many people. So, and anyway, like if you bring 20 people, it won't, you know, it won't help the bigger part, and the rest will be jealous. So that is that is the usual way here. Yeah. So that's why in Ukraine we were trying to rotate the grants. If we pick up some people this year, we'll pick up different people next year, because we don't have much money, and we don't want to have the same people coming. So yeah, you'll have to be really careful about whom to bring there. Okay, we have a question from Julia. Julia, please.
Hello to everybody. Nice to meet you today again. I don't have a question. I would like just to express my opinion according to the Anna Smith's question, what can Italian teachers do for Ukrainian teachers? So during the recent time, we have some lessons. We are having the lessons with the pupils from Italy, with their teacher Ilaria. Every Thursday, we have students of 9th form in Ukraine with the students of the same age from Italy. It is a very nice experience. I can recommend to all other teachers. It is the Italian program, Italian project. We take part there. We are involved in it, and it is really great. We have some challenges, of course, because it was quite difficult to organize everything, because our students are at home. Their Italian students are in masks. We tried to use different platforms, different connection. And through some lessons, we have some results. It is very interesting for our students. It is a good experience for us teachers, and it is a real help, especially psychological help for us, Ukrainian students and teachers in this situation when our country is in the state of war. So I really would like to tell thank you for this Italian program, for our colleagues from Italy that communicate with us and try to help us in these days. Thank you very much.
Cool. Yeah. Okay, thank you. And now we have a question from Ludmila Knapovska. Ludmila, please.
Well, just in fact, it's not a question. This is more of an answer to one of the questions that we have somehow skipped. Well, Dennis, sorry, well, if I mispronounce the name, asked whether students who are abroad now but taking courses online will be able to continue with their online classes in the next school year, and whether we think it's better for them to be integrated into the Italian schools next year. Definitely, personally, I would like to hear the opinion of our Italian colleagues too. But just if you ask me, then I will say that maybe the choice is with the kids, or rather with their parents. And it all depends on what they plan for the future. If they plan to be back to Ukraine by the beginning of the next school year, and just we all do hope that all this nightmare will be over by that time, then definitely, well, no plans for being integrated into the Italian schools. If they plan to stay on, then there will be several options for them to do. Either to take online courses from Ukrainian schools, get some kind of assessment framework and get certificates from Ukrainian schools. Well, if this is what they think to be relevant, or maybe they will have plans to stay on and stay in Italy longer, then they will have to integrate into the Italian schools, but they just will have to integrate into that system fully. That is, with all the assessment system that the Italian school has, with all the teaching models and whatever. So I don't know whether we have the definite answer now. Just life and the situation in Ukraine will show what will be better for them. And all in all, it will be their choice.
Can I just a very short remark? You know, Ukrainians don't travel a lot in general. And for many people, it was a wonderful chance to go abroad. And what I'm observing now is that many people went abroad and they were very sure that they will quickly adjust to the situation. They will make a good career there, and their kids will go to school and will be the brightest kids there. Unfortunately, the reality is different. So as Ludmila mentioned, it will be up to every family to decide whether they will really need to stay there or they will want to come abroad. Yeah. So Irina, your question, please.
Me? Can I ask? Thank you. So my question concerns the specialized language schools. So do you share the idea of abolition such kinds of schools in Ukraine? And so you see in many cities there were a great number of such kinds of schools, but now in some years we won't have them. So all the schools will be the same. And I don't understand when at the same, some years ago, there was announced the year of the development of the English language. And at the same time, now in some years, we won't have the opportunity to work in such schools. So we won't have them. So what do you think of this? Is there any opportunity to renew them?
It's a question for whom?
For you, Oksana, yeah. So is it possible to renew independent schools?
Irina, thank you. Irina, thank you very much. I must confess that I am not an expert on that. I know that even if a school is not specialized, there are ways to have English, to have 5 lessons per week of English. I just know and extra lessons. I'm not sure if that, and then it should be decided at the level of the Ministry of Education and Science. I'm not sure how important it is. So it's stated that it's the school specialized in English or not. I know that schools which are specialized on math, for example, they have a lot of enough hour of English as well. So and now it's in demand. I mean, English as a subject is in demand. So my answer, I don't know.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
We all hope for having independent schools in Ukraine. Yeah, so that's, I think, is the dream of everyone, having as many independent schools as possible. Yeah. Okay, any more questions? No. So, so Sergey is talking about Turkmen group. Yeah, so, but maybe not now. So then thank you so much. And like this session, Oksana, thank you so much. And Maria Gracia and Sarah and Lisa, like, thank you for your faces. Andrea, thank you for supporting us with your smiles. And thank you for being with us. It's very important for us. You know, we can't meet just together for nothing, but meeting for this opportunity is so good. And talking about what we want to talk and sharing something and listening to the people we know was such a pleasure. So thank you so much. And if everyone wants to express gratitude.
It's our pleasure anyway. Thank you. And I really like the idea of Oksana that we may explore to create a community of a practice. Maybe, I don't know if during this series of webinars or at the end of it. So let's see, so that we can have a follow-up and maybe teachers from both countries and even from other countries. I mean, there are also not only Italians attending these webinars. Maybe they can exchange. So we may find a place. For example, in another project, we use the Google Classroom, and the students, the teachers that wanted to participate are still exchanging ideas, resources, and maybe also organizing meets sessions with students. That's I really like the idea of the other teacher. I don't remember her name now. So we may think how things evolve. Okay, I think that this could be something useful for both.
It would be great.
Yeah.
Maybe in certain places, like not having people to move and to travel. Maybe in certain places they can just gather for one day, and then we don't have to pay for their lodging and for their travel, and still they will learn more about each other. Yeah. So, but anyway, any idea will be wonderful. So, thank you so much. Okay. It's time to say goodbye, obviously. Thank you, Oksana. Thank you, Maria.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Maria Antoinette. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, and we'll see you on Tuesday. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.